forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your life.
Thank you all for coming tonight, of course, and joining in with the spirit of things and dressing up and having such a good laugh. Also, there's a frame at the side by where the photographer was taking your pictures. If you'd like to go out there and leave a message for me and Katy, it'll be much appreciated. And also those that haven't already had a photo taken, if you could head out there and have a photo taken so we can remember this night. Help yourself to the food, enjoy the night, and I'll speak to you again in a bit.
Fight the tears that ain't all the moment of truth in your eyes. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
Hello. Hello.
You ready? You're not allowed to say it.
That's hilarious.
I'm going to read a story, and every time you hear your character in the story, you need to get up and run anti-clockwise around your bus. So this row will be getting up and running in the middle. This row will run around the outside and down the middle. Just be careful for health and safety. Also, there's a couple of other things you need to know. When you hear me say the baby, the audience around have to all go, oh. Come and practice. The baby. When you hear me say the bumps, if you go over a bump, all of you who are seated need to get up out of your seat and just sit back down, as if you're going over a bump. That's it. Perfect. So once everyone's got their labels, we'll start the story. This is the story of the 511 bus which starts from Wolverhampton bus station. Waiting in the queue are Mr. and Mrs. Brown and Mr. Green. Even before they sat down, the conductor rang the bell, the driver took his foot off the brake and off the bus went. Round and round went the wheels as they headed for Shoal Circus. After going over a bump in the road caused by roadworks, the driver saw Mrs. White and the baby waiting at the bus stop. He stomped on the brakes, the conductor fell over through the shop and the wheels screeched to a halt. As soon as the baby and Mrs. White were seated, the conductor rang the bell and the driver took his foot off the brakes and the wheels went into motion. Because of having to pick up Mrs. White and the baby, Mr. and Mrs. Brown and Mr. Green, the bus was now behind time. So the driver went faster and faster, the wheels turned quicker and quicker, and everyone on the bus, especially Mrs. White and the baby, felt quite ill because of the bumps in the road. Mr. Green shouted at the conductor to tell the driver to slow down. Mr. and Mrs. Brown agreed, however the wheels just went faster and faster and he hardly had to touch the brakes. As the bus sped past the Golden Line pub, all the passengers were worried what would happen by the time they got to the Scotland. The driver hit the brakes as they arrived at Bushbury Hill. The driver screeched around, missed the corner and flung the baby out of its seat. By this time, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, Mr. Green and Mrs. White had had enough. They all complained to the conductor, who went to tell the driver to slow down. But the wheels were still going fast over the bumps. By the time they got to Shoal Circus, the driver had caught up time, so he stamped on the brakes. The wheels ground to a halt. The conductor helped Mr. and Mrs. Brown, Mr. Green and Mrs. White and the baby off the bus. But that's not the end of the story. Because Mr. and Mrs. Brown, Mr. Green and Mrs. White and the conductor all shouted at the driver about the way he kept stamping on the brakes, screeching the wheels and upsetting the baby.
He's gonna get killed.
I think this bus is the winner. Well done, everybody. Now you're all worn out.
Keep going low then. Yes, all of it, keep going low then. Logan, be careful.
Stop following me! Get away!
Go on, you might as well. Come on, you can still win this. Best dressed child first. We have Eva. You want to come here? Look, Eva. She's run up to my list. For best dressed female, we have Elaine as the Statue of Liberty. So let's take a vote. For best dressed group, I'm sure not everybody can guess this one. Yabba Dabba Doo. Climb up the Flintstones. Flintstones, Rubbles and the little baby apparently. Share them all, big play nice now, children. And for the best dressed male, Joker. Get up here. Come on, Dave, you've won. We'd like to thank Mike and Abby for doing the judging for us. Thank you, people. Kept it impartial. Kind of. Right, thank you all very much for coming again and joining in. You've made it what it has been tonight. And thank you all for taking part in the games. But now it's time to boogie. So come up on the dance floor and have some fun.
Oh,